Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Blind Intelligence, where we have a special guest out of Los Angeles, California, Mr. Trevor Wesley. Hello.
How you doing? Thanks for having
I
me.
am doing fine. Thank you for coming. How about you start out with telling everyone a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a California, Los Angeles native, and people are like, "How'd you get into music?" But I didn't get into music. Music was in me, and I recognized I had a gift with music since a young age, and I just kept doing it. And it wasn't until later that realized that I wanted to do it for a living. That was just something that I did because I love to do it. I play piano and sing, and when I was like, maybe 13 or 14, I started recording myself and doing covers and stuff, and writing songs. And I've just been doing it ever since. And I have a song that went viral a few years ago called "Chivalry Is Dead," and I wrote and produced it. And I'm just continuing as technology keeps growing. Like, it's so accessible for artists to create music now, and the competition is there's so many people doing music, and so now I'm really trying to tap into ways of being, I'm great at music, but now that's like 20% of it, really, because it's about promotion and marketing and networking and all that kind of stuff. So just doing what I can.
So, actually, how long have you been in the industry?
For probably close to 15 years now. I've been out in LA doing live gigs with different musicians and different people. I used to I worked with a lot of different people, and I used to be signed with this artist named Neo, who his management and stuff like that. And I've navigated
Neo's from Arkansas.
from different situations, but it's kind of hard to find the right situation that's going to be the thing, because everything I've ever been involved with, I was thought like, this is it, and so just taking it one day at a time.
Okay. You mentioned with technology how things have gotten easier. In what ways have it gotten easier for you with using technology?
Well, that I can, create a song.
Specifically in the music, specifically in the music, not the social media, not all those other parts. We'll get to that, but specifically with the creation of the music, how has technology worked for you?
Well, I mean, I've been recording, and using software for creating music for a long time, and it's definitely gotten easier. There's a lot of subscription services for instruments and different, software plugins and stuff like that. So you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to get it. You can pay a monthly subscription to use it and test things out if you like them. And, especially just being able to, use different distributors that are online now. You pay a fee and you can put your music out and get it to the world. But like I said, it's about the marketing and promotion of it. Once you put your music out there, then I realize that it's more so about the story that people, like brands and different, tastemakers and influencers care about. It's like the music could be great, but how are we going to sell this story? And I'm not much of a salesman. I want to make music that would hopefully sell itself, But I know that it's like you said, with social media, like it's about partnering with people who are creative and do something different, but it also aligns with making sense with both of you doing things together. Like that "Chivalry Is Dead" song I did, it came together so great because I partnered with a guy named Eastwood, who's a dancer and choreographer, and he used the song in a video. And so me making the music and singing, he did the dance, and it became a visual, and he had an audience already, so it kind of kicked off a fan base for me, which is cool.
Right. So I had wrote a blog one time about, are you collaborating with the right people? So tell me, out of everybody that you have collaborated with, who do you think was the most beneficial? Not just in terms of numbers, but as in advancing your career.
Well, I mean, I would definitely say Ian Eastwood, because he got me a fan base and got me, I'm able to pay my rent with my music, and somewhere to start to build from. But
okay, what about the number two then? The number two.
Working with Neo was amazing too, because he's just really talented and writes songs really fast, and he gave me some good advice multiple times. Just working with him. And, because in LA, there's so many crabs in a barrel out here. Everyone says they're dope. Everyone says, they're awesome, but like he was just awesome, and he didn't have to say anything, you know. Like one of the things he told me that stuck with me was to, when you're writing a song, to know as quickly as you can what the name of the song is. And I related it to like driving somewhere, you know, like you're not gonna just get in the car and start driving and hope you're gonna land somewhere good, you know. You got to know where you're going and then pick the route. And that really helped me as a songwriter, you know, because I know that as a creative person. You didn't mention
that you was a songwriter. You just mentioned that you was a singer and that you played an instrument. So you just added another element.
Yeah, well, I do everything myself. I write and sing and produce and just create music, you know. And I can't. It's hard for me to like, I can't imagine if I was just a singer where I had to find writers, I had to find producers, and like that would be like crazy, because you'd just be waiting around for other people all the time. And I think, you know, there's more and more people that are just doing it all themselves, because what are you going to be, you know, the right person's not going to just come along. You got to be working and doing things yourself for things to move forward, you know?
Okay. You mentioned earlier that in LA that you performed a lot of local places. What are some of the places that you were performing at?
Well, it started with this place in the Valley that was called, it's not there anymore now, but it was called Cozy's. And it was this little, you know, hole in the wall bar spot that all the dopest musicians came to. And, you know, it was open till like 2 in the morning. And we would just hang out and play music and jam. And from there, you know, like that kind of like introduced me to a lot of different musicians and producers. And, you know, from there, I've like, you know, I've performed at the Key Club when it was the Key Club, and now it's gone. The House of Blues in Sunset, which is gone. It's crazy how everything is like, you know, changing so much. But Jamie Foxx had a thing called, what was it called? It was in downtown LA. I don't know if he still does it anymore, but I think that's where he discovered Ed Sheeran. But I performed there a few times, and it all came from this little place called Cozy's. And the bartender, Mo, he was super cool. And it'll always be a memory of mine, because it really, like, you know, was an experience growing up and being around such awesome musicians, mostly who played in church and, you know, that were always better than me. And so I'd be able to hang around
people
that
were better than you.
Because they were more experienced. They could play better, but that's why, you know, that's what's awesome. I think you should always surround yourself with people that are better than you, so you can grow and be hungry to be like, damn, I know I can be that one day. You know, this was like maybe 12, 13 years ago that I was out there at Cozy's, but I know that it was a pivotal moment for me to, you know, be introduced to musicians in the industry and networking and stuff, you know.
And now a word from my sponsors. Hi, this is Marlette with Classic Glam by Marlette, where classic never goes out of style. We're based here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, but you can reach us on our website at classicglamgirl.com or Facebook and Instagram at Classic Glam by Marlette.
Welcome to the National Beat Battle Association. I'm your host, Emmanuel Elohim. I'm in the building, brought to you by Chew the Specialist, my man. We got 2 sessions. Each session is 5 rounds. The first round is the pre-made beat. Each team gets 1 minute. Round 2 is the live finger drumming. Each team gets 2 minutes. Round 3 is the R&B joint. Throw your livest R&B track. Each team gets 1 minute. Round 4 is the live beat making, which is 5 minutes for each team. Round 5 is the sample flip. That's 2 minutes. After the 5th round, we have the bonus round, which is 30 points in addition to what you got.
So tell me this, with colbit, what have you done besides make music to make people aware of your new projects? Besides promotion, I mean, because I know people would get out and do promotional things, you know, if a radio is broadcasting live, different things like that. What have you done creatively to get people to look at your new projects amongst COVID?
Just go coughing on people? No. No. gets people going.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. There's not really much I can do, like you could live stream and.
So
like,
are
what
you
can
live
you do?
streaming?
I do live stream on
Have
YouTube.
you done a live stream concert?
Not a concert. I know I probably should, but I do hop on my like Instagram live and stuff like that, and I sit at the piano and play and sing. But I haven't marketed like Trevor Wesley live stream concert.
Why not?
I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, here I am, living room showcase.
Well, a lot of places now are doing live stream concerts. So they will let you, I guess you go through management or whatever, but they put together shows and the whole show is virtual, like how they done the BET Awards. The whole show is virtual and people are setting up stages in their backyard. And how they have the platform is everybody who signed up can go live off that same platform when they get ready to do their performance. And they still get paid for it because people still buy tickets and people still can donate to the artist.
Yeah. I've gotten some emails about some stuff like that from different people, but
I enjoy watching.
Yeah. Nothing that was like, seemed really worth it for me to go out there and do it. Like, I think it's important with, to only work on things that are worth it, like, cause everybody and their mama wants to do live streams or, like all kind of things. And they might not have an audience.
About majors, not just anyone.
Right. Yeah. The right thing hasn't come along for me to want to do it. But I mean, I do sing at my house, on my own live streams and stuff, which is cool.
So what would you consider your genre?
Well, I love, like jazz music, like Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, but being from California, I've always loved like, West Coast music like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Pharrell. And someone called me Trap King Cole one time and I thought it was funny. Like, I don't rap, but I'm a crooner, I love like Frank Sinatra kind of, crooning kind of music.
I kind of got that from you when you said you enjoyed working with Neo.
Yeah. But but I definitely lean towards the kind of jazzier side of things. But I like to have a soulful touch to it. It's weird because I don't like try to create a sound or anything. I've just been doing it for a long time, and everything that I've ever loved, I've taken a little piece of here and there and put it in to create what I am. And I guess I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
Okay. So tell me about your latest single.
Well, I put a song. I'm going to be releasing a song a month now, just to consistently be pushing singles. And the last song I just put out was called Buzzed, and that's the song I put out on that Share to the Pros website. But it's just a song. It's like kind of like everything these days is about. I don't know how to word it right, but it comes across like it's like you're getting high or getting drunk, but the song is really about being high on life. So that people, so you could get high, you could get drunk, listening to the song, and it would still make sense. But at the same time,
because when I first heard it, I was like, "What is he talking about? Getting high of what?"
Yeah, and exactly. I said, "I'm buzzed in my car."
Look, see, when you submit it, I think that you submit it. A lot of people will submit and they'll say, "Listen to the first 25 seconds and then give feedback." I actually listened to the whole song because
nice.
A lot of it has no words within the first 25 seconds.
You're saying a lot of the other songs that you heard.
Right.
That's one of the things I always tell people.
Song because the beat grabbed me right away.
I always tell people, man, when they say, check out my song, check out this music, and there's like this long intro because they think that it's the greatest thing ever, so they have all this build up. I'm like, man, people have such short attention spans. You got to get to the song like immediately, So if I can, unless it's like an album song that's like not, that's just in the album and people already love you, and it's like, I'm trying to get myself out there, so I'm not gonna put a long intro. But I'm glad you listened. Thank you.
I listen to everybody's to the end. I try to give people a fair chance because even if some people ask for 90 seconds, I feel like if your song is 4 minutes, then I'm making an estimate on the rest of the song. I mean, it's 4 minutes. I can listen to all of it.
Yeah.
So
4 minutes
tell me
is a long time.
what are you doing creatively for merchandising, getting your merchandise out there?
I need to do stuff with my merchandise, but right now it's like I used to have a team, a manager and stuff, and things weren't working out, and so maybe 2 years ago I've been doing things all on my own, and that's one of the hurdles that I'm going through is being great at music and everything is one thing, and now all this other side of things with the business and merchandise and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to work on, because I know that music is really like the bait on the hook to get people, and then once you get people, then you can sell merch and make money on different avenues like that. So I guess one thing at a time. I have some old merchandise that I have from Chivalry is Dead that I haven't been selling, partly because I haven't been doing any shows live, because that's what I would do is I'd go perform and then I'd sell that stuff live. But yeah, I need to get my online merch stuff together.
Okay, so are you a full-time musician?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, you've got to be great to do that in LA full-time.
Yeah, well, it definitely didn't come easy. It took over 10 years for sure.
Okay. So tell me this. With COVID, how has your writing been? Has it given you more time to write? Are you in the studio more, or is it more of the thought process? How has COVID affected your writing process?
I wouldn't say it has affected my writing process, because I'm always at home anyways, writing and making music. But it's definitely, I don't know, prevented me from going out and going to live music. So I'm home more. That's the only thing that it kind of sucks, is that I can't go out and network the way I used to, and go to jam sessions and live performances and stuff. So I'm definitely home more than I was, but I'm a homebody anyways. I like being home and creating anyways.
Well, you said you can't network like you used to. So
yeah.
How are you networking?
Well, it's like when I'd go out, it would happen naturally. It wasn't me trying to be like, all right, I'm networking and I'm going to force, this. Like,
do you go to like events or?
Yeah, I would go to events, and I'd just run into people I hadn't planned on seeing. And, over time, you just see the same kind of people around, and you build relationships and, make friends with people. And because that's one thing about this industry that I'm not a huge fan of is always having that ulterior motive of like, all right, who is this person? What do they do? And, what can I get from them? And I got to stand next to this person so that they'll like me. Like, you can go nuts and all that stuff. And I like organically and naturally, I like to like somebody and really admire their talent, of course, but I don't like to force stuff. And I know that that's one of the necessities in this industry is that you have to put on a smile for everybody and don't burn any bridges. And,
So that's going to bring me to my next question. But before we started recording, we were talking. So how much do you think that attitude matters in the music industry?
Well, I think attitude matters anywhere, beyond the music industry, but definitely matters. And, in the past, few years, growing up, getting older and everything, I've become more aware of myself and other people and seeing, just the politics and everything, and in that, the industry kind of is going to lean towards one way, and everyone's going to be like-minded for certain things. And if you think something different from that, then, you might want to be quiet because, then whatever, if it's, what's the word? If it's something that is, I guess it's just about discretion, about, who you're around and what you're talking about. And some things you might want to keep to yourself. And, I know it's important to, at the end of the day, when I'm networking or I'm around people that do music and stuff, I like to keep it about music. And, if I'm in the studio, like we're working on music and we're making songs, I'm not trying there to mess around and, argue or talk about other things. And if it happens naturally, that's great. But, I try to keep my opinions to myself, but at the same time, I'm not afraid to say because I know my heart's in the right place, and I don't hate anybody, and I don't have, bad intentions with people. and I don't resent people. So I don't have like a filter, but at the same time, I do understand how the industry works in that sense that, you know, you have to have discretion with what you talk about, and because, you know, the whole cancel culture thing and, you know, all kinds of stuff, but which is why I'm thankful I make and create my own music, and I don't really care, you know, like people like my music, they're going to like it. If they don't like me and, you know, they like my music, then, you know, because I've had people say that too, like, you know, I used to like your music, but then, you know, whatever it is, you know, like, it's funny. I was like, well, then you never liked my music, because if you like my music, it's like if there's an actor, you know, like he has a movie or something, or she has a movie, and something comes out in their personal life, and you hate them and you don't like watching their movies anymore. It's like it's separate from their art. But I think a lot of people are
right. I have noticed that, especially with celebrity couples, men and women will take sides in that, I guess, public display of separation and voice some of the harshest opinions about these people and don't know them. So how do you feel about fans taking sides in celebrity split ups?
I mean, I always found it funny that, you know, how many people idolize celebrities and stuff and kind of make them their god, and, you know, they care so much because it's really just influence, you know, that they don't really, like you said, they don't know what's really going on. So they just hang around who's influencing them to think what they think. And it's kind of like the cliquey thing, you know, that's kind of the way the industry is in a lot of sense too, that, you know, there's certain narratives and things that you have to, you know, abide by, or else you're not in the club. So I know that, you know, with the celebrities and stuff like that, like, I don't know them personally. I'm only getting a sliver of who they are from what they're showing me, because I know that part of building a brand, well, most of building a brand is creating an angle that people are going to see you, and then, you know, protecting that. And at the end of the day, it's like you don't really know. There's there's your side, my side, and then the truth, you know?
Hi, this is Marlette with Classic Glam by Marlette, where classic never goes out of style. We're based here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, but you can reach us on our website at classicglamgirl.com or Facebook and Instagram at Classic Glam by Marlette.
Yeah. So tell me this. You told me a couple of artists that you loved working with. Don't give me names, but give me one experience where you had to work on a project and see it through to completion with somebody that you didn't personally care for.
Well, I've definitely had those, you know, where most of the time it's going to be where it's like, you know, a younger kid that, you know, their parents have money and they have a budget, and they're like, you know, my child needs a hit and blah, blah, blah. And so they, you know, you want to make some money. So you take on a project to produce or write or do something for them. And it's just horrible. You know, I want to be like, keep your money, because it's just bad. Like they're not talented. They can't sing, and it's just bad. And it's almost, I feel guilty. Like I'm taking their money. You're paying me when you have no chance.
I saw an episode of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood one time, and that was the exact same scenario where one of the girls' mom wanted her to have a rap career, and so she went to this producer, and I think she paid him like $20,000 to produce a project for her, and he had to use this auto tune and all this kind of stuff, and she was mad about it, and he was like, that's the reason why I saved all the raw footage and played it without doing anything to it. And it was like, he was like, I did all of that to make this sound like this. So those are the types of experiences that you have. I thought it was for TV, but that is a common thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of, because, you know, a lot of people don't have the gift of music. They don't love music. They love the idea of it. And the attention they can get, and the celebrity and the lifestyle and all those kind of things. And that's what drives them to want to do it. You know, people are like, how did you get into music? It's like, I didn't get into music. I've always just made music because I loved it. And
you're never an overnight success. People
no way.
Think, oh, this person came up quick. I'm going to use Cardi B as an example. she was grinding and had a fan base before she even made it to Love and Hip Hop, before she even made it to getting a record deal, before she even made it to being whatever she was. She put in a lot of work before that people didn't see to build her fan base. So one thing that I've seen with a lot of people, especially younger kids, since you brought up younger kids, is that they only see the end result and don't look at all the work that goes into it. So is that one of the things that you see, besides not being talented, that people want instant results? They need instant gratification?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you said, by the time they blow up or people know who they are, they were working probably 10 years at least to get to that situation for it to happen. It's almost like actors, like how an actor, you recognize that you finally love. You go back and watch old movies where they were just like playing little parts and stuff. You're like, I didn't even realize that they were in that movie, because they didn't just become a big actor. It's like it takes time to recognize them and be, get in your face and see them and be like, oh yeah, I know who they are and their name. It doesn't just happen overnight. I'm sure there's cases where it can happen if you just sell your soul.
Yeah, but it's so far few in between. It don't happen like that. I mean, even if you're that great, many times executives sit back and watch to see what you're gonna do, what moves you're gonna make. Are you gonna keep at it? They look at different things like that before they even approach you about what they have in mind to work with you on. I mean, so
yeah. I think the ones that don't care about anything business wise are like, I don't care. I just want to be an actor. I just want to be a musician. And they don't care about anything. They have more of a chance because the executives and stuff are going to be like, all right, cool, sign this. And then, they get screwed.
And they
or something.
working for peanuts and making a ass out of themselves.
Yeah, they'll be famous and their face will be everywhere, but they have no ownership of anything.
Right. I remember watching an interview with Paul McCartney, and he was talking about the experience that he had with working with Michael Jackson. And he said one of the things that Michael Jackson said to him was, they were talking about masters, and he was like, oh, well, I'm going to own this masters too. And he said they laughed about it. He said, but in the end, that Michael Jackson ended up on the masters to the song that they did together. I think it was Say, Say, Say.
Yeah.
But
Michael Jackson owns a lot of masters, which is, I don't know, there's all these conspiracies around things, but I always believe Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. He's one of my favorite artists of all time.
As my dad would say, he was ice cold.
Yeah. Him and I don't know. Yeah. Like when someone like that is powerful and they, have ownership of catalog and stuff like that, and then they die, you can't help but wonder how they really died,
Well, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Right.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
That's what I say. I'll just be wondering.
I do remember Elizabeth Taylor saying, this was the interview that I remember this because I was young. It was the interview that Michael Jackson did with Oprah, and Elizabeth Taylor came in. And she said, I just want the world to know and understand that nobody can touch him. Nobody can do what he does. Nobody can dance like him. And I was like, that is so true. So when I look at artists, I always ask them, what can nobody do like you? That's the difference between, I think, being an artist and being an icon, because some of these artists want to be an icon, but what is special about you?
Right, you got to be an artist before you can be an icon.
You said some
they're
of
not artists; they just want to be icons.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody where they're able to find your music, your social media handles, anything, Mr. Trevor Wesley.
You said it. I mean, I try to make it easy. It's just my name. Trevor Wesley is my Instagram, but my Facebook and my YouTube is Trevor Wesley Music. But yeah, Trevor Wesley is all you need to know. Like Wesley Snipes. So Spotify, iTunes.
Trevor Wesley on LinkedIn, Snapchat, everything, or do you just have just a certain social medias that you use?
Yeah, just for whatever reason it was, I forget what it was, but Facebook and YouTube is Trevor Wesley Music. So
Okay.
Trevor Wesley is, I mean, if you type in Trevor Wesley on Google, you'll find what you need, you know?
Okay. Is there anything else that you want us to know about you?
Just thank you for having me on, and it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I appreciate it, and cool.
All right. Thank everybody for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and also subscribe to the video channels. Bye.